Hey guys, it's Kate. Welcome to another speed build. In this speed build, I'm building a family mansion on a 40 by 40 lot in Brindleton Bay. And this is kind of unusual for me, I guess, because I decided to build a yellow colored build. But I only used yellow for some of the windows, doors, and just some little details. So I didn't use any yellow on the walls, for example, just on the interior. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about this. So this house has kind of a pretty traditional style, I guess you could say. I just started building, to be honest. I didn't have any specific kind of style in mind. I just knew that I would love to build something that's very yellow and very friendly. German winters are very long and dark and mostly extremely gray and dull. You know, it's not like winter wonderland with lots of snow. We actually had a little bit of snow today, but not much, so it's very gray and kind of depressing. And at this point, to be honest, I'm kind of done with the winter, so I felt like building something that kind of reminds me of spring or summer. And yellow obviously is kind of like a very happy summer color, so I thought that this could be a lot of fun. But generally, I think yellow isn't really my favorite color, so at first I wasn't sure how it would all turn out, but I think it looks very nice. It really looks like spring to me. It looks very friendly and very happy, and this is exactly the look that I was going for. I kind of went a little bit crazy with the roofing, as always, and here I kind of tried to make it all work so it all merges together nicely. I know a lot of people kind of hate roofing, but all I can say is just try to make it all merge together nicely so there is nothing like sticking out somewhere in a weird place. And I also decided to add a little tower. I'm going to change the position of this tower later on though and move it a little bit to the left because I didn't like the position. I also added some dormers. At first these are part of StrangerVille, the new pack, but then I also decided to remove them, so I changed some stuff up. The dormers have like a very dark roof color, but I decided to go for a light brown, so it wasn't really kind of fitting. And here you can see how I changed the position because I just wasn't happy with how it looked. And I also decided to use the terrain tools once again. It's been a while, honestly. For my last build I didn't use the terrain tools at all. As I said, sometimes it's kind of good to take a break from terrain tools because it kind of gets boring to always use them, and so here I kind of decided to use them again. I just raised the terrain a little bit so I could build the house on top of it, and that's basically it. So I didn't kind of went all out with the terrain tools. Just a tiny little hill with the house sitting on top. I'm also going to use the terrain tools to create some stairs in the front, as you will see. And I also decided to add a little diagonal section to the house. I think it makes it look more exciting and interesting from the outside. But I have to say, this can be a little bit tricky when you furnish the house. It definitely makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of come up with a floor plan that makes sense. And to be honest, I'm always kind of winging my floor plans. I never know what happens. I'm just starting to, but then I take a look at the inside and I kind of try to come up with something that makes sense. And most of the time it does make sense. And I used a lot of stuff that came with the new StrangerVille pack, the windows, the doors. I also combined some other windows with that, and the yellow base game flowers, just lots of little yellow details, and the little roof decoration that also came with StrangerVille. I used that a lot and just combined different things, and I felt like that the round section on the patio was just perfect for a beautiful round table. It was a lot of fun to build this, I have to say. Some of the windows that are part of the StrangerVille pack have a pointed arch, and this is kind of very typical for Carpenter Gothic or Gothic Revival architecture, but I feel like it's so cool to use them for any type of traditional family home, especially the doors. The windows with the pointed arch are kind of unique and they might not fit to any build, but I feel like the doors are kind of like a all-rounder basically, especially when you just use the completely white version. Here I was going for yellow, which is a little bit crazy, but as I mentioned before, but maybe you don't know, but the swatches fit to some of the base game swatches for the columns and fences, so it's very cool to use that for this. And here I'm starting to work on the front section. I used the terrain to create a little stair section, and I added a rounded foundation, so I just have some type of rounded section in the front. So It's kind of a very complicated looking stair section, but I just felt like adding that to the front so it looks more unique. And then I added tons of rocks. I love to do that, so I kind of went back to my terrain tool roots with this build. And the section in the front is definitely really kind of special because you have like two entrances, one on the left and one on the right. It doesn't matter which way you take, it all leads to the front door, but I felt like it's a cute little detail and combined this little fence that is part of the Toddler stuff pack. It's basically just a smaller version of the picket fence that we got in the StrangerVille pack. I know that a lot of people went crazy over the picket fence. Again, as I said, it's like perfect for a very traditional build. There are so many fun elements, even if you don't like to play the story. I really enjoyed that. And by the way, I still haven't played the story. I just don't have any time for that. Actually, like in the last days, I didn't build a lot. I was kind of taking a couple of days off because during the last weeks I was just like constantly building non-stop whenever I had time to build. And at some point you kind of like burn out and you reach builder's block. You can be very motivated and determined, but whenever you're doing something that is creative, you kind of have no control over if you kind of have no ideas left, if you just kind of feel empty. So at some point you just have to take a break and kind of recharge your creative batteries, even if it's just 1 or 2 days. And I really had to do that, which is why it took a couple of days longer than usual until I released this build. But it was kind of a good thing, I guess. And here you can see how I added like rocks and plants and a little bench. So there's a little section on the left side where Sims can just sit, and it's just beautiful. I think I was really going for a very scenic and craned kind of look in this. And another little life update. I'd already posted this on Twitter, but I ordered new glasses, and I'm really impatient with stuff like this. Like generally I can be really patient, but when I order something and I'm really excited for this, then I'm kind of impatient, I have to say. Also, like when I'm tracking a parcel and I'm waiting for it to arrive, I track it constantly and I'm just really excited for something to arrive. And obviously glasses, it just takes a while. And at first I unfortunately made the mistake and ordered the wrong lenses. So they contacted me and said that they advised me to get other lenses because my prescription, the glasses would just be too thick. And I didn't think about this because I kind of love glasses that have kind of a thick plastic frame, if you know what I mean. And I've always had glasses like this, and the thickness doesn't matter that much. But now I got a golden metal frame, a very thin frame, and a round shape. So it would kind of look bad if you have like very thick lenses. So I kind of had to change my order, and now I have to wait. I'm really looking forward for my glasses to arrive. And I also ordered new piercings because I have silver color piercings at the moment and I didn't want them to clash with the new glasses, so I ordered gold colored ones, and I'm like really excited how it will all look like. I will update you guys once it arrives. I don't know, maybe next week probably, I guess. I hope so. And here I'm working on the back section. I decided to have a traditional cute little garden with a pool and an area where Sims can have a little barbecue, and another elevated area where Sims can sit, just like the one that I built in the front. There's just a bench and your Sims can just hang out and enjoy the view. Brindleton Bay is such a beautiful scenic world where it definitely makes sense to just sit on a bench and look out to the water and just enjoy the view. It's just so beautiful. Also, I quickly want to mention that I have already started to work on a modern build. I know that a couple of you guys requested something modern, and I really enjoy building modern stuff. I have really started to love doing that recently, so soon there will be a modern build on this channel. And here I decided to extend the span route, so I used a fence. I added the fence on the balcony and I moved the fence into the roof basically, and then I just added the span rails because you can add the span rails on top of a fence. You can also remove the fence afterwards, but in this case it didn't matter because it's completely invisible because it's inside the roof and there's no way you can even see it even if you would try. And I decorated the tower and just moved the windows around. Sometimes when I'm just placing the windows from the outside, I don't really realize how they are positioned, and then from the inside I see that they are too high up or too low, and then I change it up a little bit. I added lots of shelves just so I have kind of additional freezers and decoration. And then I added a little balcony all around the tower. The tower looks so cool from the outside, and what I really like about this is when you furnish it and you work out the floor plan, it's a perfect place to add a round table, for example, which is exactly what I did in the kitchen. And as you will see, the whole interior is extremely warm, but here I'm starting to work on the kitchen. And at first I was just starting to work on that. And as you will see now in the first version, basically, the kitchen is still pretty dark. I used the counters that are part of the vampire pack, but I'm going to switch these out later with the ones that are part of the jungle pack, because after I finished working on the kitchen, I wasn't too happy. So I started to work on the other rooms, and then I kind of had a interior design that is very warm, very pastel colored with some yellow accents, because I really wanted to match the interior to the exterior, and then the kitchen was kind of out of place, so I had to make it warmer and more friendly. So I'm going to change that up later, but this is the layout that I was going for. I'm not going to change any of that, just the curtain colors and the counters. And I really love the floor underneath the little island counter. This is just another floor color and the floor tile that I used there. This is no rock or something, just another floor. And I really enjoy this, and the tower is like a perfect place for a round table, as I said, so I decided to place the dining table there. I still decided to build a separate dining room though, because this is a big mansion, so it always makes sense to have a separate cute little dining room. And I use the little tables that are part of the Dine Out pack all around the tower walls in a couple of seconds, as you will see, just so there is kind of like something on the walls, because I didn't like how the walls look with just the curtains basically. And I'm going to change some of that stuff up, as I mentioned before. So the whole interior is like really warm and welcoming. I used a lot of light brown colors. I mentioned this before, but something that really helped me was sorting by color. I saw this in a Simarki stream. I love Simarki, so she's just amazing. You all know her, but if not, please check her out. She's just amazing. Simarki is just such a very talented simmer, and she has such a big heart. She's just amazing, really, and she has these amazing furnish me challenges. She's just amazing. However, this is where I saw that you can sort by color, and ever since that day I just enjoy to sort by color. I have always sorted by pack but never by color, and this just makes things a lot easier. For example, for this build I was going for a very warm and happy colors, so I sorted a lot by light brown, because I was really going for these light brown colors. There aren't that many harsh contrasts. It's like all very happy and pastel almost, so it was very helpful to just sort by that for the other rooms. And here I'm kind of starting to work out the room. I'm changing the floor, and later I'm going to change the counters, as I said. I'm really sorry that the kitchen is kind of all over the place and that it really took me a while to get it to its final state, but I really hope that you kind of enjoyed the final result, because I didn't want to have a kitchen that doesn't match the rest of the interior. And this room here is like a living room, a small family room with a little reading corner, but it's also kind of a mix of a little living room and a hallway, so this is where Sims can leave the house in the back and go to the garden. And here I was kind of working out which colors I would like to use for this. And here's kind of where I decided that the kitchen is way too dark, because here I kind of noticed that this just looks so nice in my opinion. All these very, very bright, beautiful colors, just perfect for the exterior. It's just like a very happy spring kind of home. So I was changing up a lot. I really kind of try to improve my interior, so I kind of sometimes just change things up when I see that something isn't working out. I just change it so until it kind of makes sense in general. And I also really try to make the interior match to the exterior. In my opinion, this is not always a necessity, because you could still buy a very old house, for example, and then you just decide to go for a very modern interior. I know that it's very much appreciated though by those people who buy old houses in real life if you kind of have a matching interior, so it kind of looks original, and people put a lot of work and love into old houses to kind of make them shine and to make them look like they did in their golden days, and I really appreciate that. I think it's so wonderful when people do that, and having a matching interior of course absolutely makes sense for this. So it kind of feels like probably traveling in time a little bit when you go into such an old house. And this is the dining room. I used a yellow curtain because of the whole yellow theme, but I didn't want to go overboard with the yellow because yellow is such a extreme color still. I think that yellow always pops, especially such a bright yellow, so I only used it here and there so I could continue the theme of the exterior to the interior, but I didn't want to use too much because I feel like a completely yellow interior would just be too much probably. And this here is the living room. I decided to have a separate living room where I have a TV and all that. And this is the hallway. I again used like very light, beautiful light brown colors, and this little cupboard is part of the laundry day pack, a really beautiful pack for builds like this. I think it just has a lot of cool stuff. It's a very cool pack. I'm not a fan of the laundry aspect, I have to say. Laundry is already boring in real life. I don't need laundry in my game. I know that this is probably an unpopular opinion because people could vote for this pack back then, and obviously it won. A lot of people enjoy this, but I'm not a fan of this. And I have to say that I was a little bit disappointed back then when this pack won because there were so many fun, exciting options. I'm always someone who's very excited about something that we've never seen before. And one option was, for example, to live off the grid. Living off the grid would just be something very exciting and new, something that we've never seen before. And also a dangerous stuff pack with new ways to die for your Sims, which just sounded so amazing. I think this is the one that I voted for back then, and I was so disappointed when the laundry stuff pack won. But I mean, it doesn't matter because I feel like it's completely fine to be disappointed about a pack and that you don't like it, but I think it's sometimes very disappointing when people like make such a big deal out of this, especially on social media, because everyone is kind of so excited about a new pack and just happy and likes to explore it, and then some people are just bringing in so much negativity, or some people are claiming that no one is enjoying a pack, and I don't really like that. There's no reason to rain on everyone's parade, if you know what I mean. But yeah, personally I was kind of bummed, but I hope that we might have some pack like this, like a dangerous stuff pack or something in the future. I would really enjoy to see this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the laundry stuff pack and what did you vote for back then, if you want to tell us. And I completely forgot to mention this, but this house has 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. There is one master bedroom that has a bathroom directly attached to it, so it's a ensuite. And the other 2 bathrooms are basically for anyone, and one of the bathrooms is at the bottom and the other one is at the top. There are 4 kids' rooms, and the other bedroom, the 6th one, is also like a room that is suitable for a grown-up. It's not a kid's room, but you could of course also remodel that, so there would be 5 kids' rooms in total. This is a big house, perfect place for a huge sim family, so I thought I would include lots of bedrooms. And this house is fully furnished and is always available in the gallery and completely CC free. I'm going to add all the information to the description box so you can find this in the gallery. I'm also going to list all the packs that I used, and I hope that you and your Sims will enjoy this lot in case you decide to play in it. The master bedroom is like really cool and crazy in my opinion, because as you can see here, the tower is part of the master bedroom, and I decided to use the tower section just for your Sims to sit and hang out. So I'm going to add a mirror and some sofas. It's just like a little corner where you can sit. I love to build huge master bedrooms, so it's not just one tiny small bedroom, and I think it turned out so cool. I decided to use some blue just to have some type of accent color. I used yellow all over the house as you saw, but I felt like for this room I wanted to use a little bit of blue blue, so I used 2 different rugs and also a blue painting on the wall. And I think it turned out really cute, and the kids' room are pretty traditional in color, but this is the second bedroom that I mentioned. I used a lot of yellow again. This is just a very simple small bedroom where a sim can sleep in. Nothing fancy really, just a cupboard and like a mirror, not much, just a very simple basic bedroom. And this is one of the pink bedrooms, and I really love this. This is my favorite out of the kids' rooms. I placed the bed right in the corner diagonally and added a lot of pink details. It's just so beautiful. I really love how the sun is shining through the window. It's just such a very friendly, pink, beautiful, cute room. I placed a sofa on the wall just so there is somewhere to sit. This sofa is part of Cats and Dogs, I think. I also added a little desk and a computer so Sims can do homework or whatever. And this is it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe, and I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had some fun, and I hope that I see you in the next video. Bye bye.